Welcome to this explainer. We're going to dive right in today because we're exploring a deeply provocative theory from our source material regarding human health and the industrial food system. The core idea we're unpacking here is that the processed food industry isn't just feeding us anymore. According to the text, these corporations are effectively terraforming our internal biology. We're going to look really closely at how the food we eat might be altering the very landscape of our gut, transforming it to serve a corporate bottom line. Listen to this incredibly bold claim straight from the text. Market enshittification applied to human biology. The authors are arguing that right now, inside your body, there's an entire ecosystem of trillions of organisms that you don't actually own. Through modern food processing, corporations are creating a biological dependency on ultra-processed foods. It's a system that allegedly mirrors the recurring revenue subscription models we see in giant tech companies, but mapped directly onto your digestive tract to keep you craving products that, well, actually keep you sick. Section 1. The illusion of ownership. So, for most of human history, we were partners in survival with our gut. We ate what the earth provided, and in return, our microbes naturally aided our digestion and kept our immune systems incredibly sharp. We co-evolved together. But in stark contrast, our modern state is engineered by industrial food. The authors liken this to what the tech world calls the death of ownership. Just like how you might not truly own your digital movies or software anymore, the text argues you're losing control of your internal environment. It's a fascinating and honestly kind of terrifying erosion of biological autonomy. Which brings up a really crucial question regarding this whole grocery store illusion. Are additives actually just for convenience and shelf life? As consumers, we're constantly sold this idea, right? We're told these unpronounceable ingredients are just harmless little helpers meant to keep our bread soft or our salad dressings perfectly mixed. But the source outlines a much darker pivot, arguing that these chemicals don't just passively sit in the food, they actively interact with your body. We're setting up a scenario here where these additives are doing very targeted work inside your gut. Section 2. Terraforming the gut microbiome. The source breaks this physical interaction down into 3 distinct steps. Step 1. Modern research suggests common additives, like emulsifiers, act almost like biological detergents. Just think about what dish soap does to grease on a frying pan. Step 2. Because of this detergent effect, the protective mucus lining in your gut gets washed away and breaks down. And Step 3. When that absolutely critical biological barrier is compromised, it triggers a state of low-grade inflammation. This isn't just about getting a stomach ache. This specific biological chain reaction is what allegedly triggers chronic sluggishness and fatigue. And that leads directly to this powerful quote. The authors called us inflammatory breakdown the perfect hidden why behind why so many of us feel chronically sluggish and unwell. What you should really take away from this is that the authors don't view this breakdown as just some unfortunate accident of modern convenience. It's not just a food coma. It's a feature, not a bug, of how our food is made now. They frame it as a deliberate structural outcome of the industrial food system. Section 3. A biological subscription model. So, how is this takeover actually executed? Let's walk through the specific corporate strategy detailed in the source. First up, the diet is stripped of natural fiber. Next, it's replaced with ultra-processed sugars and fats. By doing this, the authors argue companies are essentially selecting or breeding specific types of bacteria in your gut. Bacteria that thrive on and crave those exact processed ingredients. Finally, this process literally rewires the microbiome to send demanding signals straight to your brain. You know, you might think you're consciously choosing to buy a bag of chips, but according to this analysis, you've essentially been hacked. Your engineered bacteria are making the purchase for you, acting like a biological push notification or a software update that you just can't swipe away. Here we have the formal definition of what the source calls the biological subscription model. It's defined as the rewiring of an internal ecosystem into a captive market to ensure constant recurring demand for products that make you sick. I want you to really stop and think about this metaphor for a second. A captive market. It suggests that as consumers, we're literally trapped by our own biology. We think we're freely choosing our food, but we're actually responding to engineered bacterial cravings designed entirely to benefit corporate bottom line. Section 4. From subscriber to steward. The authors define this entire modern health paradigm as engineered failure, replacing a naturally self-sustaining biological system with one that requires constant outside management. Because your natural energy and digestion are compromised, you have to manage it.
You manage it through processed snacks for a quick boost, energy drinks to fight the sluggishness, and eventually a lifetime of pharmaceuticals to treat the symptoms of a broken gut. The source strongly argues this is a system that trades long-term human health for short-term corporate profit margins. Looking at the global fallout, the source describes this as a dangerous biological privacy trade-off. Let's break it down. First, we trade our microbial diversity, and the result is a massive global rise in metabolic issues. Second, we sacrifice our internal health, resulting in a surge of autoimmune issues. And finally, we're essentially trading our most intimate biological privacy simply for the convenience of industrial food. It's a stark, sobering look at the supposed costs we're all paying every single day.
So, what's the ultimate takeaway here? The source delivers a very clear, empowering call to action. Stop being a passive subscriber to these biological business models and start being an active steward of your own body. The authors are urging us to look entirely differently at those unpronounceable ingredient labels. By understanding how the industrial food system is allegedly attempting to colonize our biology, we can actually begin to push back, reclaim our internal world, and stop passively accepting these engineered outcomes. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought directly inspired by the text. Next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself, are you just feeding yourself, or are you managing a corporate-owned ecosystem? It's a question that completely changes how you view your next meal and the hidden forces shaping your health. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope illuminating these ideas helps you rethink your daily choices. Stay curious, keep learning, and start taking